For more on this story, we can go across to Renée Davis standing by in Beirut. Renée, good afternoon. Did Donald Trump jump the gun on this one by putting out this post?
I think, yes, absolutely. And it's not something that we're not used to him seeing doing. He makes a lot of claims that don't always happen. We have had reports of a phone call between the president of Lebanon, Joseph Aoun, and Marco Rubio, which in itself is a step, but no direct talks with Israel and Lebanon, which would have been a first in many, many decades anyway. And, amongst the common belief here was very unlikely to begin with. And, it's very divided. Many, many Lebanese citizens do not want normalization with Israel. There's a long history and decades of diplomatic tensions between the two. You can't even enter Lebanon today if you've been to Israel before. That's how tense those relations are. So a talk between Netanyahu and President Joseph Aoun really would have been unheard of. However, it is something that Joseph Aoun has called for, and he has called for direct talks with Israel numerous times, along with Prime Minister Nawaf Salam. So the Lebanese government here definitely does want direct talks with Israel, but it seems that Washington has other plans.
And the war continues this Thursday, doesn't it? Israel continues to strike targets in Lebanon.
Yeah, so after, weeks of intense fighting in South Lebanon, it continues today. There's been huge strikes in Nabatea, which is a district in South Lebanon. There's also reports of a drone strike earlier this afternoon on a small van on the motorway between Beirut and the Bekaa in West Lebanon. So we're really looking at continued fighting and continued strikes. And yesterday, they also evacuated all of the south of the Zahrani River. Israel bombed another bridge today, the Kazmia Bridge, which was virtually the sole link from Sur, which is also known as Tyre, another district in South Lebanon, really isolating that part of the country from the rest of it.
Renée, thank you very much for that. Renée Davis reporting there for us from Beirut.